Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we get set for race number 20 of the season. The chase towards the chase for the 5th Hershey's Cup Series Championship here in NNSCRA competition. We are getting ready to go racing here today at maybe one of the most exciting road courses on the schedule. This is Thornton International Raceway, and if you're not familiar with this racetrack, let me key you in on a couple of features, a couple of characteristics of this racetrack. For one thing, it is over 12 miles in length. A big portion of this type of track is involved in running city streets and country roads, and it is home to maybe one of the most legendary parts of a racetrack in NNSCRA history, the Turn of Death. There is a quarry just off the final corner of this racetrack. It is a 60-foot drop down to the sandy beach area below, and we have had a number of drivers through the years, whether it be this series or any other NNSCRA sanctioned event, where drivers have plummeted down those 60 feet to the beach. Today, these drivers certainly hope they will not be one of those drivers, as not only could their livelihood, their race cars, but also their championship hopes could take the plummet off of the edge. We are getting ready for 3 laps of racing here today. Yeah, 3 laps. It seems like, good grief, that's a very short race. But when you consider the fact that each lap is going to be over 12 miles in length, nope, it's going to take them a long time to get around. It is not going to be a short race by any stretch of the imagination. But it is definitely going to be an interesting one looking at the current points battle, especially the battle for the 16 spots in the chase for the championship. Currently, as things stand right now, there are a total of 3 spots available in the point standings to make it in via points into the chase for the championship. Those slots currently held by Caleb Farrell, Blaine Keys, and Brandon Gonzales. Just on the outside looking in are J Gardner, Jessica Shelton, J Arndt, Charles Sandfer, and James McCloud. Still a long ways to go in this season, including this race. We have 7 races before the chase begins, so there's still plenty of time for any of those drivers to have consistent enough runs, make it in via points, or even pick themselves up a victory before the end of the regular season and put themselves in the hunt for a slot in the chase for the championship. So with 3 spots being available via points, that means that 13 spots right now are taken by drivers that are former winners. Of course, the number 1 seed is a 3-way tie between Trent Dunham, Chris Dodd, and Sean Gallighan, who have all been to victory lane twice this season. And then for your one-time winners, you got Cole Baker, Daniel Gilbert, K Shearer, last time out winner at Watkins Glen, Zachary Fitzwater, along with Dylan Poteet, Dallas McIntosh, Dylan Young, Benjamin Miles, Keith Batson, and Joshua Michaels. Those drivers are all currently in the chase right now, according to the live playoff points, via a win. But you've also got some drivers that are outside of the top 30 in the point standings that could work their way back up into the top 30 with good runs in the upcoming weeks. And then they would take away slots for drivers being able to make it in via points, including J Richardson, he's 31st in points, Alex Drayton 33rd, and Anthony McCrury in 35th. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on those drivers during the course of this race to see if they can work their way up towards the front of the field, at least try and get a good finish here today and get themselves back into the top 30 in the points, so that way their win would count towards a spot in the chase for the championship. J Baskinger lines up on the pole position for this race, and Baskinger trying to make his 5th straight Hershey's Cup Series chase at a track that he's the defending winner of. Baskinger went to victory lane here 1 year ago. Keith Batson, he's looking for his 2nd win of the season to join the likes of Dunham, Dodd, and Gallighan as a confirmed locked-up driver in the chase for the championship. 3 laps of racing, and so our stages here today are obviously going to be 1, 1, and 1 for the laps. Each lap will be the completion of a stage. Let's give you a top 10 the points standings coming into this race real quickly. Presented by Golden Corral. Cole Baker's the points leader. 5 points in hand over Trent Dunham, so it's going to be a pretty good points battle between these two in today's event. Chris Dodd 3rd in points with Daniel Gilbert 4th, Sean Gallighan 5th. K Shearer is 6th, Caleb Farrell, the highest running driver without a win, in 7th. Blaine Keys right behind him in 8th. Zachary Fitzwater's win last week at the Glen jumped him up to 9th. And completing the top 10 the points is Brandon Gonzales, who according to the live points right now would hold the 16th and final spot in the chase for the championship. Time to get these cars rolling off here. And we will get ready to turn them loose. Just around this right-hander is the quarry off to the left, and then the straightaway down to the start-finish line, and we'll get ready to turn them loose. No cautions here today. Basically, you got what you got. There you see the drop-off down to the quarry. And we're getting ready to go racing here at Thornton. Should be a wild one. Hope you're ready. These drivers, I hope, are ready. This is one of the most grueling road courses on the schedule. Green flag is out. We're underway at Thornton. Let's roll. Down through the city streets to start off this race. Baskinger out in front. Joshua Michaels just moved to second, bypassing K Batson. Battle is on for fourth between T Walch in the 15, Emmanuel Hartnett in the 83. Looks like Walsh will take the spot. There are a number of highway areas of this racetrack, and those highway areas very straight, which means that a lot of times drafting can come into play as to who's going to be able to pick up spots and who isn't. Look at him, 3 wide quite a ways through here. Right up here, you see Dallas McIntosh looking to go up the middle with T Walch and Emmanuel Hartnett. J Gardner, K Mathews, and B Gonzales, they were 3 wide for a brief second. And of course, as always, our NNSCRA split cam crew on hand to fill you in on anything that happens during the course of this race. J Batson was able to swing around the outside of J Baskinger, so now he's out in front. But keep in mind, as far as the stage points, you know, we could have lead change after lead change here this lap, but it only matters who crosses the line as the race leader as to who's going to get the bonus points as well as the playoff point. K Tellier there in the 70 and B Gonzales in the 23, they both were swung wide through that left-hand moments ago, 4 wide for a brief moment. And here we come to the straightaways. I was talking about the highway straightaways. This is where you're going to start to see the draft come into play. You can get drivers lined up on either side of that dotted white line. The battle between which lane's going to move. Young, side by side with K Tellier. That's around the 8th position that the battle's going on. Young's been on a streak as of late after winning at Springfield Mile, followed up with a great run last week at the Glen, finds himself up to 13th in the point standings, which I think may be a career high for him. Dylan Young trying to make his very first chase for the championship. Side by side for third, Dallas McIntosh to the right side of Emmanuel Hartnett, now the inside as they go through this right-hander. He'll complete the pass and now tries to get the left rear to close in on J Baskinger for the second position. Question is, though, which line is K Batson going to help? Batson's going to stay over on the left side. That's going to allow Baskinger to hang on to second place for the moment. McIntosh will have to hang in third. Michaels there along with J Gardner. They're leading the pack on the right lane. With T Walch, Dylan Young, B Allan. They're 3 wide there, putting K Tellier in the middle. You see right there that yellow line and then that bit of grayish brown. That's a shoulder. If they get up on that, cars can get a little bit squirrely, a little bit loose, and a wreck could ensue. One of the worst camera angles here is to go over this section. Now you're able to see them. Ooh, there might have been some contact right there between T Walch and J Gardner. Joshua Michaels, last week at the Glen, worked his way back into the top 30 in the point standing, so right now his win at Eldora would count towards a chase spot, and trying to follow that up with another good run here today at Thornton. Michaels trying to make his very first chase for the championship. Now we're going to jump up here to the front of the field because we are getting close to a section known as the Turn of Death. What we will do is we will freeze frame the camera to be able to make sure that all the drivers are going to be able to safely get through that section of the course. There will be a point here where you will not see the race cars. We're going to be kind of back behind the trees, but then we will freeze frame it when they come off the corner. K Batson out in front. Here they come. When they come out from behind these trees, that's where we'll freeze it. Cross the railroad tracks. We freeze the frame. Whoa, Hartnett was close to falling off. Careful, guys. Oh, and there goes Dylan Poteet. Dylan Poteet in the 31. Our winner from Phoenix. He is the first driver to fall off of the turn of death. There's a car back here that's slow. Can't make out who it is yet. Looks like they went off into the trees. See if we can find out as soon as they come out around here. And oh, that was our winner last week, Zachary Fitzwater. Got off course, took him a while to get back on. And speaking of getting off course, J Sydnor also off course in the 38. And he is, I believe, just now falling a lap down. So we are now on to lap number 2. And K Batson was the one who led us to the start-finish line. So K Batson not only picking up 10 valuable bonus points, but he also gets himself a stage point. K Batson, coming into this race, was tied with Trent Dunham for most playoff points heading into the chase for the championship with 4. That now puts him in the lead with 5 playoff points that he would carry into the reformatted standings when the chase field is put together. Whoa, a couple of cars off track back there. Benjamin Miles was 1. What might have been Anthony McCrury is now Dallas McIntosh alongside K Batson, trying to take the race lead. J Baskinger right behind them, waiting in the wings. In 3rd place. McIntosh, is he going to be able to take the spot? Question is, where's the drafting help come from with Baskinger? Baskinger kind of running in the middle, neither giving Batson nor McIntosh help. Well, now I think he's more on the right-hand line. And that's giving drafting help to the 39, and indeed it does. So that moves Batson back to the race lead. Gardner tried that strategy last week at Watkins Glen. It almost worked. He was able to at least get some stage points and a playoff point, but didn't finish the way he wanted to at the Glen. His teammate Fitzwater taking the win. Running well here, though. As is Brandon Gonzales. Talked about him coming into this race in that final 16th spot as far as the live points are concerned in the championship hunt. Trying to make it in via points. He would obviously like to go to victory lane, running that 120-plus winless streak. But still, trying to continue to make a case for himself of making the chase for the championship. Another driver I noticed as well that's running very well is J McCloud in the 51. Coming to this race, McCloud is 19th in the points standings, jumped 12 spots in points last week at the Glen. Looking for his first win of the season, as he was a 2-time winner last year making the chase in his rookie season. McCloud trying to make some late season moves here to get himself into the hunt for the championship. Also, K Llamas finished runner-up last week to Zachary Fitzwater at the Glen. That jumped him up 5 spots in the point standings last week, up to 34th in points, and that was a driver that headed into the Glen, dead last in the standings, having another good run here today at Thornton. We could see K Llamas go to victory lane at some point here during this regular season if he can keep these consistent finishes up that he's had. We could see him in the hunt for the championship. There's Trent Dunham, and right behind him is Cole Baker. These two came into this race battling for the points lead. Dunham 5 points behind the 18. Both drivers sure look like they're going to be drivers that will be battling for the championship. Dunham with 2 wins, and of course Cole Baker leading the point standings with 1 win. So they're getting close to that point of the season where they will be locked into the championship hunt no matter what happens in like the final 2 or 3 races of the year, as Trent Dunham gets way up the track there and into the steel guardrail. Oh, we had a car around. I think that was K Shearer. Yes, it is. He's gone off into the trees. And we are now going to go to our TV1 cameras. Baskinger is going to get around for the top position. We'll go to TV1 and make sure that nobody falls off the turn of death this time. Dylan Poteet already has. And whoa, Cole Baker. Was that Baker? I think it was. That was a close call for him. Looks like everybody got through there pretty well. A couple of drivers really faded back, though, There's Poteet, but how about Michaels? Something must have happened to the 10. Because he was up inside the top 10 not too long ago, and now he's way back here. And same deal for Cole Baker in the 18. I saw he was quite a ways back. He was up right behind Trent Dunham. There he is. Another driver as well that also faded back was the 2 of Dylan Young. There he is. Back up towards the front of the field, though. Field's gotten kind of broken up here towards the front. 5 drivers basically up in this lead pack. Baskinger out in front, and he led that lap. That is actually the first stage win for J Baskinger this season, believe it or not. It looks like right now it's coming down between him, Dallas McIntosh, and K Batson. J Gardner and J McCloud also trying to get up there. Batson and McIntosh, they're looking for their second wins of the season. For Baskinger, Gardner, and McCloud, they're looking for their first of the year. Baskinger was a former winner last season at this track. J Gardner was a 2-time winner last season, and so was McCloud. But they're all chasing win number 1 this season. And of course, Jake Baskinger documented last season how he is 4 for 4 in making the chase for the Hershey's Cup Series Championship. Only driver to do that. Trying to make it 5 for 5 here today, and he could do it if he could go to victory lane. I mean, Baskinger coming into this race is currently 29th in the point standings. So he's going to probably get a good finish today regardless to get himself away from that cut line. And obviously he wants a win so that way he can be in the conversation to try and battle for his 5th Hershey's Cup Series Championship. The only other driver that's even close to matching what Baskinger has would be Blaine Keys. He is 3 for 4 in making the chase for the championship. Making the championship hunts in seasons 1, 3, and 4, and right now looks like he may be 4 for 5 as he's currently up there in the point stands, would make it on points right now, but obviously still anything can happen, and we haven't even yet gotten to the racetrack that he is the former winner at when he picked up the win to get him into the chase last season, the season finale at M&M Super Speedway. So right there in your camera shot, those 5 might be the 5 that decide this thing, because this is the last lap. First of these 4, or maybe 5, depending if Gardner can catch back up, to get to the start-finish line will be the winner of this race. Baskinger, the win might lock him into the chase. Just noticed, and I'm not exactly certain why, but the last time by, oh yeah, they had Brandon Gonzales. Something must have happened to the 23 of Gonzales as well, because they had him scored in 3rd when he crossed the stripe last time. And is he even in this group? No, he's not. Something must have happened to the 23. You guys probably saw it. I didn't. Gonzales was in 3rd place crossing the line last time by, and now he is nowhere to be seen in the top 10. Here comes McCloud trying to get alongside of J Baskinger. Dallas McIntosh offering drafting help. It's going to come down between Baskinger, McCloud, McIntosh, and Batson heading into the final few corners of this road course. Can Baskinger hold him off? McIntosh looks low. McCloud goes up, gets the guardrail. That might take him out of the race win. Baskinger gets the guardrail as well. McIntosh swings around on the outside. Batson going to move to 2nd. If either McIntosh or Batson win this race, that would probably lock themselves up a spot in the chase for the championship regardless. And it looks like it might be Dallas McIntosh who's going to do it. Baskinger just almost basically threw it away, hitting that steel guardrail. Out of the final corner, down the straightaway, Dallas McIntosh, 2nd win of the season, is going to come here today, or is it? Batson makes a look to the outside, not going to be able to get there. McIntosh wins here today at Thornton. And we had a photo finish. 8/100ths of a second right there. Batson nearly able to get to McIntosh, just needed a couple hundred more feet of straightaway. But Dallas McIntosh came into this race 12th in the point standings, former winner at Richmond this season, and now 2nd win of the year, and that may have just confirmed him a spot in the chase for the championship and ties him with teammate Trent Dunham, along with Chris Dodd and Sean Gallighan, as a two-time winner this season in Hershey's Cup Series competition. Not the first time he's been a two-time winner. He was a two-time winner back in, I believe it was season 3. So it will be Dallas McIntosh more than likely locking himself up a spot in the playoffs. K Batson so close picking up his second career win, and J Baskinger. He had just kept it straight if he had just kept it on the course, but he hit that steel guardrail in the final corners. McIntosh was able to swing around and take the checkered flag. Still waiting for everyone to cross the line. It'll be Gardner in 4th. Great run for him. McCloud will finish in 5th. Tim Walch going to finish in 6th with Charles Sanders 7th. Brooke Allen 8th. Trent Dunham will get 9th. And Emmanuel Hartnett will complete the top 10. Richardson, well-needed run for him to move back into the top 30 in points. He's 11th. K Tellier was 12th. Cole Baker in 13th, so it's going to be close between him and Trent Dunham for who's going to be the points leader heading into next week's race. And it was Alex Drayton, Kyle Mathews, your top 50. Quentin Moore, Caleb Farrell, Dylan Young back in 18th. Cody Llamas back in 19th. With Benjamin Miles completing the top 20. Daniel Guilbert was 21st. L Alvarise 22nd. 23rd, Anthony McCrury. 24th, Cody Smart with Shelton in 25th. And it was Matt Haas, Nathan Hudson, Sean Gallighan back in 28th. 29th for John Arndt, and 30th was Blaine Keys. Still waiting for a couple of drivers to cross the start-finish line. Joshua Michaels all the way back to 31st place for the 10 car. So while Richardson may have moved into the top 30, Michaels may have dropped back outside the top 30. Chris Dodd was 32nd, K Shearer 33rd, 34th was Levi McIntyre, and the last car it looks like to maybe finish on the lead lap. Zachary Fitzwater, our winner from last week at the Glen, 35th. Brandon Gonzales looks like he'll be finishing in 36th place, 37th J Bryant. And then 2 laps down was G Sydnor, who got off course and just couldn't find his way back on. And Dylan Poteet looks like the only driver that fell off the turn of death today, finishing in the 39th position. So that is going to do it here today from Thornton International Raceway. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. We've shown your full official results. These are your rookie points and overall points heading into next week's race, where all 3 series will be heading to Rockingham, North Carolina, to go racing at a track full of tire conservation and fuel conservation. Should be a very interesting race as we continue on all 3 series chase towards the chase for the championship. I've been Seth Cole. Thanks for tuning in today's race here from Thornton. We will see you guys next week as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.